Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. Every time I think about this, I was saying to myself, that's like your favorite movie that's coming up, right? Or your favorite reel that might be popping up, or maybe even a commercial that you like over and over again. You like, ooh, they're about to really get into this. But I took it up to another level when I thought about lights, camera, action. And I said, that should be going on with us in our business and in our personal life all the time. Now, disclaimer, not talking about like totally drama where you're not getting nothing accomplished, because that can happen with lights, camera, action too. But I'm talking about purposely making sure that people know that you are on and they know who you are, what you bring, and what kind of impact you make. My name is Barbara J. Beckley. I am a professional speaker. I am the CEO of the Diamond Factor Network that brings people into lights, camera, action with their own show. I'm also a 12-time Amazon international bestseller. And I just love to be in the know when people wants to understand their purpose and their visibility. So I am a purpose and visibility strategist. But I wasn't always there. Let me take you back. Let me take you back. Let me take you back to a young girl, around 7 years old, very, 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 very shy. Did not want to talk to anybody and didn't want nobody to talk to her. To the point where they did kind of talk to me. Okay, let's just say not kind of, they did. They talked to me heavily. They talked to me like saying, "You're ugly, you're fat. Who are you? You're not smart. Why are you even in school? Why are you even on this planet?" Wow. Can you just imagine somebody telling you, and especially as a child, why are you on this planet? So now I'm ET, right? ET. I know I'm aging myself. But think about it. These words were going in my mind all the time at the age of 7, between 7 and 12. I was dealing with these negative thoughts. Now, when you're older, and even when you're older, you have to maneuver through that, right? Because have you ever had somebody tell you that you're not that smart, or maybe you shouldn't take this business because you might not have, the tenacity to do it? Or are you really thinking of buying a house? Really? Maybe you shouldn't get married right now. You've been having them bad relationships. Have anybody had any kind of negativity come in their life? Show of hands, right? I have, you have, we all have. And we have to battle that all the time, right? Well, at the age of 7 through 10, it's kind of hard to battle that. But see, I had what I call my floating angels with me at that time. And one of my angels was my teacher. And she was hearing over and over again these children crucifying me, telling me that, I'm nothing, that I'm ugly, that I shouldn't be here. And she's seen this big fight. But every day after school, she would take me in before I went home, and she would have me write on the board. At that time, chalkboard. I don't know, now it's tablets, right? But at that time, a big old chalkboard, black chalkboard with white chalk. And I had to write 100 times, "I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am smart. I am not an alien. I am from this world. I'm special and I have a purpose." And she had me write that down over and over again, not just one day, but every day, because she was fighting off that negativity and making me see and write it. So I knew what I was about, truly understood who I was about. And I think about that going back, like I said, I wasn't always all those things that I told you about who I am right now, and thinking about that and telling myself that I don't want anyone else, even at that age, to feel the way I felt, to feel like I wasn't worthy, to feel like I wasn't even being seen. And when I was being seen, it was in a negative tone. My teacher used to tell me all the time, you are a diamond in the rough, Barbara J. Beckley, but you're being molded and groomed to be that beautiful diamond that's going to come out when you're growing up. She said, you're going to have some low valleys, but you're going to have some big high ones. And you're going to have a big purpose in this world, not just helping you reach your potential, but others. Now, this is my teacher telling me this is 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I had her for 3 years. And she was telling me this over and over again because she wanted me to believe. Now, as we know, some people do rituals in the morning, but they're called what? Affirmations. She was teaching me that. She was teaching me the power of words. We all understand what the power of words are, right? So she was teaching me this. Then I would get home every day crying because I was still going through. But I had another angel, my dad, my father, the diamond of all diamonds, I call him. He would give me the hugs. He would just tell me how amazing I was. At that time, I was his princess. I wasn't a queen yet, but I was his princess. And he used to always tell me, you are a diamond in the rough. I'm like, wait a minute, have you and my teacher been talking? Why are you saying that? And he said it. And he explained to me the diamond story again. I was like, okay, something about this diamond. I knew they were pretty though. So he would tell me about the diamond. And he was saying, you're getting molded. You're getting shaped. But you are going to become this amazing diamond that's going to, and he even said it, he said, you're just going to fascinate the whole world. You're just going to be glowing. And I was like, okay. There's something to this. There's 2 people telling me this. So I would hear this all the time, but with the negative, the negative swooped in. But then, every day, again, remember, I used to write down after school. She'd have me write down those affirmations, and it would remind me of who I was turning out to be. Now, at the age of 17, because I went through a lot, as we all do. You have your low valleys, right? You went through certain things in your life. I call them stepping stones of strength. And I had to understand that each low valley I was dealing with, it was another level of getting to that diamond that they were telling me about. Well, at the age of 17, I have to say my diamond seemed like it bursted. And what I mean by bursted is because my dad, my lovely dad, the one who used to hug me, give me the bear kisses and tell me, and the hugs and tell me how awesome I was. Well, unfortunately, he passed away. Now, he didn't lose his life from a car accident or a sickness or even old age, but he lost his life from somebody taking his life. And that felt like it took my life. Because he was my cheerleader. He was there. And for somebody, I told myself that took that so powerful, this person in my life, I was like, what am I going to do? So I spiraled. Here we go with the low valley. Low valley. I spiraled out to the point when I found out I totally lost it. I mean, I'm talking about losing, like tearing up my room, tearing up stuff where I was at, to the point where they had to call 911 for me. And I had to go under a 48-hour suicide watch. And at that time, when I was laying in that bed and I was looking up and I was just telling myself, I just want to end it. I really just wanted to end it. I didn't feel that special diamond no more. I didn't feel like a diamond in the rough. I didn't feel like nothing. But another angel came in my room. It was a nurse. She walked in. She looked at me. She's like, I got to take your vitals, Miss Beckley, and I got to make sure you're okay. And I'm like, okay, do what you got to do, because I know what I want to do. And that was like ending it. She took my vials, she took my blood pressure. She said everything was okay. I was a little in and out because they put me on a sedative. But as she was walking towards the door, she spun around and told me, you do not need to do or think about what you're trying to do. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you probably, everybody in here is in this ward about almost, taking their lives. So maybe that's something that was on her script. That's what I was thinking. Okay, until she said the next word. She said, because something's telling me, she said, I don't know where this is coming from, but something's telling me, Barbara, she went from Miss Beckley to Barbara, that you are a diamond in the rough. And there's a purpose for you, and you do not need to leave at this moment. I felt my heart and my head and everything just coming in play. And I was like, OMG, what is going on? Have you ever had a certain thing that happened in your life that just turned something, that you was about to do something that maybe it wasn't right, maybe you were like kind of about it, but then something happened, a person, place, or thing did something to you, or just something inside of you just told you, oh, I got to stop this, something's going on, this is something different, there's a whole different course I have to go to. That's what happened to me with that nurse. That's what happened to my third angel, as I call. That was God. That was God. It was the divine intervention. Okay, let's get serious here. That he was telling me that you need to go on because there is a purpose for you. So right then and there started my mission. Right then and there started my vision to make sure that every person, especially women, understand what their purpose is. And once you dig deep and understand that you were put on this earth for a reason, yes, then you need to be lights, camera, action. This is the blueprint of understanding, of giving that impact in the world. And it comes beyond your business. It's a part of it. But I'm going to give you three tips right now. Starts with what I've been saying. Lights, establishing a strong presence. Now, usually I say a strong brand presence, and then some people goes into the whole branding ordeal about the website and making sure your social media is there. I'm talking about you, your brand. Now, I just told you why I do what I do, why I feel so strongly about making sure that people understand their purpose and why they need to be on this earth, and there's a purpose for it, and they have to be visible afterwards. There's a two thing here. You need to have your origin story on lockdown. You need to have it on lockdown. You need to make sure that people understand where you're coming from. Those are the lights coming from you. That's the light part. That's the first tip. You have to establish and build your story, your credibility, the trust that people can reach out and say, I've been there, Barbara. I lost somebody. I went through shyness. I went through bullying or something, or they know somebody or something. They can relate. They basically have that tone from you where they know that you've been through some stuff. And sometimes it don't have to be nothing negative all the time. Some people be like, well, if I don't have that poor, sad story, then people are not going to resonate with me. No, you can have the good, awesome stories. You might have grew up so awesome. Did different things and accolades and stuff. That needs to be shown too. So don't just put it one-sided here. So I want to make sure that the first thing you think of when we're talking about lights, camera, action, the visibility blueprint, that's what this is called. Lights is establishing your presence, establishing the elements that make you marketable, that make you unique. Okay? Second, camera. Making it simple for you. Second tip, camera. You know how when you have a camera, you take a picture, click, and you capture that moment, you capture the attention of what's going on. That's what camera is about in your visibility blueprint. It is to capture the audience attention. You got to capture it. You got to pull it. You got to make sure that they're looking. You got to learn techniques to get them to let them know and levitate what you are talking about. You have to capture the moment. So it might be a moment in your car. Maybe you're going somewhere and then you have an epitome of something. You're like, hey, I got to get on. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Make a point, get off. See, a lot of people do all that. Hi, da, 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 da. You need to capture their attention like that. You don't need to be going on and on and on with the housekeeping. I call it the housekeeping of speeches or the housekeeping of doing reels. You need to grab a hold. I had to get on to let you know that every time I screamed, it was for a reason, because I had to let out my anger because I got upset at somebody today. And I'm telling everybody, just let your emotions out because it helps you and it relieves you. Now, that was an example of a quick second teachable moment. I got your attention by yelling, right? I captured your attention. Click. That's that camera. Okay. Then third, action. You have to, after you do the lights, you build that presence. People know who you are. You become an established of your own uniqueness. Then you have the second, which is camera. Click. You're getting that capturing that audience, capturing their attention right away. Not over talking and talking about other things, but you're basically just hitting the point. You know how they say, get to the point? People's attention spans are like this now. You need to get to the point. Once you get to the point, then it's 3. Action. Action is going to be always, just get ready. If you're, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put it out there, disclaimer. If you feel lazy, if you feel tired all the time and stuff, I want you to go to the doctor, or I want you to check it out, because it's going to take some action, what you have to do with when you are doing lights, camera, action in your world. Okay. I'm not saying this just for you. I had to say it to myself. So I said, I'm going to do some action. The action is you have to foster. Yes, you have to foster the audience engagement. Now, I know that's kind of, okay, what do you mean by that, right? The connection. It's just connection. Connection, establishing relationships. A connection. You got to put it together. People are going to resonate with real people that are authentic. You heard that word many times, that are real, that are true to them. This is where you don't go in that, what they call imposter syndrome. This action don't have nothing to do with imposter syndrome. You need to make sure that you are you. I have to be Barbara J. Beckley. I can't be anybody else. Well, say a long time ago, and this is because I put a standard to myself. I said, I want to become the next Oprah. I put a standard. I said, I want to become next Oprah when it comes to media, TV, helping people, get them out there. I'm talking about the visibility and stuff, right? And that's why I have my own Diamond Factor network, where I build show hosts, where I help build their show. That's part of their number one, their lights. But I said, I have to be a leader in that. I have to do it myself. I've had to put action to it. But then after a while, somebody told me, they said, no, Barbara, I have to correct you. And I'm like, what you talking about? I'm doing some work here. I'm trying to, I'm moving up. I'm trying to move levels here. You're talking about no. They said, no. We want to make sure you want to go beyond Oprah. I know you got that standard because you really like Oprah and she's one of your mentors out there, but you have to be Barbara J. Beckley and take that action and run with it. Now, you take some tips, you take some skills, what they did, you see what things that they did to get to that, but you're still Barbara J. Beckley. And you want people to get to know you and have a relationship with you. Okay? So I want to let's have a talk. Let's have a talk here. And I know I said lights, camera, action at the beginning because I was so excited. I was like, that's what you should have in your everyday life. But the one thing I want to say is You can say that all day. You can try to establish your presence. You can try to make a strong camera, that connect that one, that with the camera, you're going to make that one click, I said, with the camera, and three with the action. But you have to, and I'm telling you this, you have to know for yourself. It has to be deep inside here. Because if it's just here, it's going to be short lived. It's going to be very short lived. And you're going to be trying to figure out why the light's not there, why the camera's not there, why I'm not putting action to anything in my life, why I'm not increasing my visibility, why are people not knowing me? If you get questions from people saying, what do you really do? Or I see you here and there and everywhere, but what do you bring? What can you help me with? I have a pain point. Can you help me with one of my pain points that I have? When people start asking those kind of questions, you have to kind of draw back a little bit and ask yourself, okay, am I really putting out my presence? Am I putting out the story? Am I the origin story? Do they understand who I serve? And what do I want to accomplish? And what kind of impact am I making? So, there's a lot of questions. I went through the three main things when it comes to blueprint increasing your visibility. But I want to leave you with this. 2 years ago, I got on Facebook and some just pulled me and said, Barbara, you need to get on Facebook right now. You need to do a video. And I'm like, really? Where's all this coming from? Why? And I was busy that day too, but I listened. Some just told me, was pressing on me. So just to let you know, if something presses on you, that's something that you probably need to do because there's something behind that. Just another little side note. So it was pressing on me. And I got on the video and I went on Facebook Live and I told my story about my whole father and how I lost him and I was about to lose, give my life away. Well, not, I was about to end my life. And then the angel came and the nurse. I told the whole story that I told at the beginning of this presentation and how lights, camera, action, and my purpose and everything just happened. And I ended it. It was done. 3 days later passed by. I get a message from a lady all the way in Europe. And I was like, okay, I don't know this person. She was like in her like 19 somewhere. And she connected to me. She said, Barbara, I know you don't know me. I received a video from Facebook Live 3 days ago that somebody shared out and it came and landed on my page. And just at the point when it landed and I started hearing your voice about your story, about your dad, about how you were going to take your life, she said, I was about to end my life at that point in time. And when I heard your story and I was paying attention to it, now here we go. Here's the lights, right? And then she said, I was paying attention to it. Okay, that was the camera. I clipped the camera for her. And then she took action. She had a relationship with my story. She took action because she didn't do it. She didn't do it. She stopped with the knife on the arm. She didn't do it, she told me. She said, if she's telling me I don't even know this woman and I don't resonate with her, that I have a purpose in life, I need to do what I need to do to prove that I am worthy. That was it. That was it. So I'm leaving you by saying that you matter. Build your blueprint the way you need to build it so you can save lives. Be the lighthouses to the world. And that's what each and every one of us can do because we have that special gift in us. Now, if any of this resonates for you and you want more, if you want more, just reach out. Let's have a talk. Just a talk. That's all I want to have a talk with you. You can go to www.barbarajbeckley.com and just get on my calendar. But I want to have a talk with you because I want to make sure that you are always on point when it comes to what? Lights, camera, action.